gonna do it? Maybe. I always keep telling myself, let me go jumpstart my t-shirt business. Let me go bring my name out there. These past few years, I haven't really done much about that. How can I expect something to appear if I'm not doing anything about it? So I figured the time has arrived for me to do something about it.
Is it time?
It's time.
What's my goal for this design? Essentially to define my style, define my inspiration, define my previous work. Kind of like a portfolio that you can wear on a shirt. I started off with a more refined sketch to help lay out my composition for the design. More elements were added in relation to the concept sketch I made earlier, such as the hands holding the pencils acting as door handles, or the mountains located at the bottom of the design. Once I was satisfied with the sketch, I scanned that bad boy into Illustrator and started my groundwork on the vectors. This was one of the easier parts of the creation process, with refining shapes and determining line weight to be the most challenging aspect of it. In my opinion, the most important part of developing this graphic was the traditional line art. It helped present a sense of life and organic upbringing, preventing the work from looking too systematic. Since I lack a graphics tablet, I basically made my monitor act as a light box to ensure my line drawings matched up to the scale and shape of my vector work. I need to invest in a tablet. Because I intended to have two versions of the design, one for light shirts and the other for dark shirts, certain elements of the design had to be done twice to appropriately appear on each version. This is the most noticeable for the elements that have shading. This was undoubtedly the most challenging part of the design to create, for I wasn't initially too sure how to traditionally shade values that are actually supposed to be highlights. I ended up with the solution of just shading with black for both versions of the affected elements, but for the night version, I had to invert the colors of the work once I scanned them. By this point in the process, I just had to do some refinement of the design through the adjustments of line weights, opacities, and gradients. Arguably the most tedious part of the whole process was optimizing my design for the products on Threadless. I'm certain I had to crop and scale my design over 40 times to make sure it properly printed on all the items available on the shop. For the most part, that's essentially the whole process of how I went about creating Arrival. When considering how I wanted this design to look like in my head months prior, I feel that I came pretty close to the way I envisioned it. As stated before, one of my goals for this design was to present my inspirations, and another to showcase parts of my former work over the years. I do, however, feel that this design may not relate to many people, and as a result won't be worn by many, but I think works better as a branding of sorts, kind of to help establish my style of design. I would like to think of it as a jumpstart for things to come. Well, guys, thank you for watching my process of arrival at day and arrival at night. I'm actually currently studying abroad in Prague, Czech Republic, and amazing place, by the way, so I hope to gain plenty of inspiration during my stay here. You can actually see photos and events that occurred during my stay in Prague, as well as progress of my designs, by checking out my Instagram, and I also have a Facebook page you can follow. Like the video, if you want. Subscribe, if you want. I'm out.